Okay, it's morning here at Habibi Bears. Look at the puppies. So they're eating their breakfast and we're in the play area. And then they're going to play out here. They have food and then they potty on their potty spots. I wanted to talk a little bit about your routines, your schedules, and what it looks like with little puppies. I hear so often from people who are frustrated because their little puppies are what they consider having potty accidents. But I really encourage you to frame the way you're seeing it differently. These are unrealistic expectations. Puppies' biology has not fully developed yet. So it has nothing to do with their intelligence or doing wrong. It has everything to do with the mind-body connection is still coming online. This is why when we have routines and we use scheduled times throughout the day, it just helps them along. But understand, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your puppy being a good or bad puppy or smart or not smart or failing. It has everything to do with just reframing your expectations to something more realistic, what puppies are able to do. It takes them until they're up to 6 months old to really be able to understand holding it. So if you're talking about a 4-month-old puppy, a 4.5-month-old puppy, understand their ability to hold it and make that connection to where they're supposed to go is very, very limited. And especially when we're talking about pee. Pee just usually happens where they're standing because they have no connection. They do not understand. Bladder awareness hasn't come on. A lot of times the poop, they can hold it a little bit longer, and you're able to tell they need to go simply by the fact that they're doing circles. But the way that we schedule our day with our flow, understand accidents are going to happen during this time, and that's absolutely okay. The important piece is for you to remain calm, for you not to panic because your puppy is going potty in what you say is the wrong spot. Understand, they're just babies. They're just learning and they're doing the very best they can. And overall, it's just a little period in their life. I think a lot of times that we have very, very different ideas on what progress looks like. And I find that with my conversations with many of the people who are raising puppies, I hear so much good in what they're doing. And you're instead hyper focused on the couple of things that you feel you're failing at. So I hope that this video really helps you keep a proper perspective of what you're doing and how it's going. This is a whole group of 4-month-old puppies, and guess what? They get it right most of the time. Do you see the potty on the trays? But they also get it to where they poop here, or they'll poop here, or they'll pee here too, because it just depends how close they are to that potty spot if they can get it right. And sometimes they'll go right next to it because they gotta go and they're still learning. Think of it as like when a baby's learning to crawl. How much time and practice does it take for them to get up on those knees and take that first little step forward, or when they're learning to walk? And before you know it, once that mind-body connection comes online fully, those babies are not only walking, they're running. And it just works like that. We're talking about building muscle memory. And you can see that with puppies, that looks different than people, but it's the same process. Do we get mad at our babies when we want them to crawl and they're not crawling yet? No, we don't. We understand they'll do it when they're ready. And it's the same with the puppies. Your puppy isn't wrong and your puppy isn't bad. Your puppy is a puppy. This is what puppies do. If you could let yourself off the hook instead of finding this as a frustration, I challenge you to please just see it as part of the process and just be like, okay, whatever, I'm cleaning up potty right now. It won't last forever. And before you know it, your puppy's bladder awareness and bowel awareness will come online, and it's much easier. I find the families a lot of times that aren't taking their puppies outside to potty, but instead are just using a permanent potty spot in the house. The majority of the reason why you're having issues, if you are having issues, is because many times you're thinking of it as a cat using a litter box, and that's just not what this is. Dogs are not cats, and they don't think of it the same way. We're teaching them a spot to go. It's also about compartmentalizing the events. I think it's a little more difficult for some folks to compartmentalize the potty event when it's all in the house, where it's a lot easier when you're taking the puppy to a definite different place outside. It's totally different. It just makes it much easier in their mind. There's a blurred line somewhere, but Just keep up with it. Do your best. You're doing good. And I'm encouraging you to just pat yourself on the back. And remember, we're having fun with our puppies. Look at all the wins. I see the videos of the puppies playfully playing, doing catch, doing all these things. This is awesome. You're doing great. Just keep up with it. And most importantly, please enjoy your puppy. Enjoy the good times and understand it's just like babies in diapers. Not a big deal. Think of it as a puppy. They're kind of like the baby in the diapers. The puppy needs the potty pad. And eventually we phase it out. That's why I created our program with the steps that you take. It makes it easy when you can stick with it and make sure that you definitely are compartmentalizing events. Potty needs to look very, very different than play. If you're mixing the two up and their potty is where they also are playing, that can be confusing for them. So make sure you're compartmentalizing the event and just being very consistent in what you're doing, and before you know it, they're going to get it. Because guess what? They're all doing it here too. I have 4-month-old puppies, and they're all doing it here too. Do I get mad at myself and say, oh, these puppies are crazy, I can't do this, I'm overwhelmed, I'm very upset? No, I just know this is just what puppies do. They'll figure it out eventually. And each puppy's different with a different timeline. They're not stupid. They're not wrong. They're not bad puppies. It's not that they can't learn. They're puppies. This is puppy development. It's the way they work. And these puppies just ate, and I guarantee you in another 5 minutes, because I've been talking to you for 6, we're going to have some puppies going potty. And I promise you, I'm going to have a potty in the wrong spot that you may think is the wrong spot. I just look at it as, that's just normal puppyhood, guys. Clean it up, move on. Love your puppy and enjoy them, because it's only a short time when they're this small. All right, this is an installment about puppy potties, and I'm going to also do some about puppy crying. This seems to be another one that people really, really get upset about, and it's really about your mindset. We're trying to normalize puppy behaviors. I think that with the onset of social media, everybody just sees these perfectly curated videos that trainers put out with edited pieces where they're not showing the accidents. They're just showing this end product and making people think that that edited form is what it is all about. I'm here to normalize it all and to show you that in reality, no, we are talking about a biological experience here. Puppies cannot hold it. They can't. They're just too young. Their body hasn't come online fully. And remember, larger breeds, they have a different timeline than smaller breeds. If you're raising a larger breed, many times their timeline may be a little quicker. But if you're raising a mini-sized dog, a teacup-sized dog, look, somebody's sniffing around. They're getting close to going potty. If you're raising teacups and minis, their timeline is longer. It takes them a little bit longer. Why? Their bodies develop at a different timeline. It's not that they're stupid. It's not that teacup puppies can't be trained. Absolutely not. It's just that their timeline looks different. Look at these precious babies. How could anybody get mad at them because they went potty beside the potty box instead of on it? The fact that they knew and they got close to me, that's a win. Let's reframe how we see it, and let's choose to honor our puppies where they're at. I know there's a lot of us that are perfectionists, and this is going to challenge that. It's going to be challenging for you if you're a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist. And I'm telling you, your puppy is going to be your big learning curve for you. They're going to help you overcome perfectionism and instead be in that state of love, of connection, and just enjoying that baby. Look at those faces. What's not to love? That is the embodiment of unconditional love right there in your home. Don't give up on your puppy. Guide them through it. You're going to have that life with them that's going to last for many, many years of companionship. It's priceless. This time, it will pass. And I think these days, we live in a throwaway society. And if things are challenging for us, we want to give up. And I'm encouraging you to work through it. And instead of seeing this as difficult that you can't do it, tell yourself a different story. How can you do it? What's the positive happening right now? Let's work through this. And it's going to build some resilience within us. Coping skills. It's a lesson in a little fuzzy, lovely form. And when all else fails, remember, you can just hold that puppy and snuggle them and give them some love. And guess what? They're going to give you love right on back, because that's what they are. That's what they're built for. Okay, there's a little one. Oh, look. Somebody chose to go lay on the potty box. Guess what? That's normal too. Let's normalize that. Why? Do you see they're panting? It's going to be 100 degrees today. I'm filming this at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're already hot. I want them to get their morning potties and play before it gets even hotter. If your puppy lays on the potty box, there's nothing wrong with that. Look, the air is ventilated. They can cool off there. Learn to accept that what's happening is totally normal and okay. And you need to release your need for perfectionism. Your puppy's going to teach you. You can't control everything. They're going to teach you acceptance and love. And when you get through all of this, all of these challenges are building those receptors in the brain to create a bond. This is how we bond, is going through the challenges together. And when we come to solutions and we overcome, there's a big oxytocin release. This is how we create love in relationships. Okay, enough for that now. I'm going to sign off. And I'm just sending so much love to everybody out there raising puppies. You got this. You can do this. The Habibi method will help you get there. But most of what our method is about is removing the need to be perfect and allowing yourself some grace and some love in the process. Look at that. There's a puppy about ready to go potty on the potty box. Good job. Remember, don't praise them until they're done, because you'll distract them. Yes, good potty. Okay, look, he's not done. He's still circling because the other one came on there and distracted him. It's a little tricky sometimes when I have more than one puppy, because they distract each other and then they can end up pooping beside the box instead of on it, just because of that simple distraction. Do you see how that happened? He stopped. He's not done. He'll go back in a minute and finish. Puppies are very easily distracted. They have a very small attention span. Rightly so, they're babies. So have some grace. And also, I can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. So you need to schedule a time with our team to help you through it. If you're feeling frustrated, if you're having, a lot of issues with certain aspects of the process of raising your puppy, the only way we can help you is to troubleshoot. So the effective way to send us your SOS need for help, we need to remove the emotion from it, and we just need to have the facts. We need to know details, and we're going to ask you questions, and that's how we move forward. I know sometimes when we're emotionally overwhelmed, sometimes we just don't want to do that. We just want to vent. But the venting isn't where we're going to find our solutions. Look, the puppy went to the potty. I'm just going to show you. Look, she's pottying next to the box. I consider it a win because she's close to it. It's a small box. She hopped on it and off. I knew they'd all start needing to go. It's 13 minutes in. It's usually within, that 10 to 15 minute time frame. That's not a losing situation, guys. She went to the spot. She didn't go over here. She went beside it. That's a win in puppyhood, just so you know. And you praise them. Good job. Because it's in the general vicinity. She might have been doing her potty dance on that box and then hopped off and the poop started coming, because they have no sphincter control yet. They're doing the best they can. Look at, they're all starting to head to the potties. There's another one right over here to go. And leave some potty on the box, because that helps them. I change it out a couple times a day, but I'll leave some on there. You can tell they need to be able to know where to go by smelling it. So leave a little bit on there. That helps them. If you're too clean, that can be confusing as well. Just make sure the bedding's clean and the potty box has the potty on it. And if your puppy is peeing on the pads that you have down in their pen, totally normal because they don't have full bladder awareness yet. So they just kind of go. That's why we layer the floor with a pad. Now, once you hit a certain age, then you'll start making the pad, giving you a space in the front, and then moving the pad slowly this direction, this direction, this direction toward the potty box, and then it's eliminated. This is done very, very slowly. It's a general process. We're helping them. We're working with their biological development. This is called looking at their developmental phases and meeting their needs appropriately. They're getting so thirsty. They already drank their water, so I'm going to go get some. It's almost time to come inside, guys. Get your playing in. Do you see how good they are because they see me talking? They're all sitting and being very polite. Such good puppies. Okay, this is your potty discussion and your encouragement for the day. I challenge you today to shift your mindset. Tell yourself a different story. This is no big deal. This is what puppies do. My puppy's doing great. Change your inner dialogue. If they poop beside the box, that's a win. If they poop over here, it's okay. It's just a mistake. They just are confused. I need to go pick that poop up off the floor before it gets mushed. But I just want you to see that I'm dealing with it here. These are babies, and you're amazing, and you can do this. There's another one ready to go potty, right on the box. Good boy. Remember, don't praise them in the midst of it. You distract them and you confuse them. And then it'll go right back up inside. Wait till they're done. He's still going. This is what it looks like when they potty. Good job, buddy. Good job. Yes, good boy. Yeah, that's so good. Good puppies. These good puppies. Your energy, they will match your energy. I tend to be a pretty calm person, and they're used to me filming and talking, but not talking to them. That's very soothing to them to hear me talking. And I encourage you to do that with your puppy too. It helps them when they hear your soothing, calm voice, that you're not frantic, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? If that's your energy and you're feeling that, guess what? That puppy feels it, and your tell is their behavior. If your puppy sees frantic and stressed out, they're just mirroring back to you your own energy. So try to like dial it down in yourself and get centered, be calm, and normalize it all. And your puppy's gonna feel that too. What are you talking about down there, guys? Okay, signing off.